Oh wait, I can do. Keep forgetting we have the countdown that we can at least use until we update the intro. Which, for those of you that were wondering why you haven't been seeing the intro video, that's why. Because we got to update it. We got work to do, and too many holidays to do the work.
I don't know
Busy
if you
time,
guys
busy
know
time.
this, but we're like super popular. We get invited to all the holiday parties.
I've got too many parties to go to, so I can't really do the work. So if you could just make it happen without me, that'd be great. That'd be real great. Thanks, love. Thanks, love. Thanks,
Thank
love.
y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Thank you very
Welcome
much.
everybody out to the Black Tower podcast. It
Praise
is
the
a
sun.
podcast of the Wheel of Time persuasion. We like to talk about
Oh, hi, Tom.
what hell? We like to talk about that there silly old book series, that their Wheel of Time. And that their Wheel of Time is also now a TV show.
Yeah.
And it's also a fandom. It's a culture. It resides in our hearts. And we're here to talk about it.
Hearts and minds.
Hearts and minds. Let's see, where's Canada?
Anyway.
It's right here. Where's the United States? It's right here. Where's the Wheel of Time?
Right here. Anyway, I am Andrew, your Bijan Mahale, one of the two hosts for the Black Tower podcast. Surprisingly, surprised. I know we haven't said the name enough yet. We're a Wheel of Time podcast. Shocker. Surprising. Look at the title. Look at our names.
I stole your thunder.
Look at the flags behind me. Look at all the stuff. It gives us.
And I am Josh. I'm the Soravan Mahale. And we're here to chew bubblegum and talk about the Wheel of Time. And, well, we're all out of bubblegum.
We're here to chew ass and talk about bubblegum. Wait,
what?
What?
Kick names.
That actually
Take
doesn't work
ass.
even if you say it the other way around. Yeah, never mind.
No.
Maybe I am here to take bubblegum. So, but yeah, luckily none of my festive lights burnt down in the great mystery wire fire.
Tom is
Wasn't
admiring
actually a fire.
your twinkle lights, and I don't blame him. He's right to do so.
I mean,
Your
you have
lights are very
lights behind you too. They're just
I do.
stable. Let's go with that. Stable. They're stable. Your lights are stable.
Oh, Tom Jordan Con.
Volunteers tribute. Oh man. Well, if you want to be able to watch us / listen to us record these things live, head on over to blacktowerpod.com and click the fancy little button that says Patreon, where you can decide how many of our incredible Patreon benefits you want to enjoy. They have been reviewed as passable, okay, better than nothing. No, they're fun. We send out like merch and stuff. We send out stickers. You get to listen to the episode live, unedited. If we ever have to edit or choose to edit parts of it out, which does happen. It does happen. It's
True.
not that these
True,
aren't
true.
edited. They do. That does happen. But more importantly, you get to just talk to us live, and you can do it either in the Discord or you can do it in the live chat. And if you do it in the chat here on the YouTubes, we'll throw your comments up on the screen, and it'll make it into the episode. So you got to be a patron for that, and you can do that for as easily as $1 a month. So if you can spare it and you enjoy what we do and you want to do it, we definitely are thankful for it. And head on over there, blacktowerpod.com, click the button that says Patreon and check it out. And if you're not interested, tell us what would make you interested.
Do you want to know something, Andrew? I actually uncovered something that I think is pretty important.
Well, that's
Um,
illegal in most public
oh,
spaces.
yes, yes, it is. Also, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Let's say you watch or listen to the Black Tower podcast. Cool, right? Not only does that make you like 33% more awesome than everybody who doesn't, but I have just uncovered a way that they can support the best damn show in the world for free. They can do it for free. It is free.
For free?
It's life hacks. Hashtag life hacks. For free, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button, give us the thumbs up button, go on to all the places and leave us a good review, or leave us an honest review. I'm going to say that. Leave us an honest review. And then you will be doing your part to forward the Black Tower. And guess what? Totally free. Doesn't cost you a damn thing.
I thought you had found like a Twitch
sharing it with
Prime
your
style
friends,
like
too.
subscription to Patreon or something.
Download Mistplay today, and you can earn free cash just by playing video games on your phone.
Bruh.
By the way, side tangent, Mistplay. You can actually get Amazon gift cards. I've done this. But you have to play games on your phone for like 4 weeks before
you get a $5 gift card.
You get a $50 gift card.
Oh,
so
I mean,
yeah, I mean, I did get a 50. So it's like one of those things. It's
on
like
an hourly
it's nice
rate,
to have.
sucks, but...
It's nice to have like as a casual thing in the background. And if you're someone who like plays a new game every 30 days or every 10 days or something like that, you're like, oh, bored with this game, play a new game. You'll actually do pretty well on Mistplay. It's actually not too shabby, but it'll still take you several weeks. It's not gonna take over your income, guys. Sorry.
Not with that attitude. If I have 500,
if you have like those dudes
playing...
in China that have like 100 cell phones on a bike,
just ridiculous.
Anyway,
speaking
Wheel of Time,
ridiculous things, we're going to talk about the ridiculously awesome Wheel of Time holidays, and we're going to do a couple different things with it. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the holidays that happen over the winter time frame, the festive time frame, the Yule time frame, whatever holiday you want to consider it. What already exists in the Wheel of Time, to the best of our recollection, because that's a phrase used. Also, what we can read online, because it's a resource. Use it. It's an open notes test. Nobody tells you have to memorize everything. Just some people are that good. And then we're going to have another fun little thought experiment where we take some of the holidays that we celebrate or are celebrated in our world and see what they would look like in the Wheel of Time if they don't already have a counterpart. Spoiler alert, many of them do. But speaking of spoiler alerts, we're going to go ahead and play the one for this episode so that nobody winds up spoiled on the Wheel of Time series if you haven't finished it.
That's true. Because there is something that happens in winter that is quite spoily.
Yeah. It has a special place in my heart. And here's the spoiler warning.
I think we're talking about two different things.
I mean, we may be, we may not be. And of course, my little soundboard thing stopped working, so now I got to go and click it, because why would any of my tech work right? Right.
Why would it work? That sounds lame.
Here we go.
Hello, I'm Tam Sorrell Norm. You may remember me from the Dusty Wheel or the Black Tower podcast. I'm here to give you a public service announcement about spoilers, as this episode may contain some. As if you didn't already know that, like watching the film Titanic and being surprised that the boat sinks at the end of the movie. Hello, moron. The movie is called Titanic. Of course, the boat fracking sinks. This show is called the Black Tower Podcast, as in from the Wheel of Time. And these three guys are Ashaman. Well, at least two of them. I don't know about that Josh guy. Anyway, You have been warned.
Yeah, we might have to get our good friend Norm to update that one as well. At least now when it says at least 2 of them, like it includes both of us. So like it's
That's
everybody. There's no question. Even though there's still doubt on you. So maybe we can just keep going with it and just Norm is the one sick with madness. Like he's seeing like a third person.
Norm did attend the Gathering Madness in LA, so I mean that
Yeah,
makes him kind of an Ashaman at the Black Tower, really, when you think about it.
That is true. All right. So
Let's do this thing. Hey,
Wheel
Andrew,
of Time holidays.
if I was to ask you how many holidays are celebrated in the Wheel of Time book series, what would your guess be?
I'm glad you asked for a guess because I didn't count and I was about to start counting.
No, don't count.
If I had to go off of recollection before we looked up anything for this episode, I would have been like, oh, I think they talk about like 6. Looking at the list
right.
without counting, I think it's closer to like 23.
You would be wrong on both accounts. Currently listed on the Watt Fandom Wiki page, there are 33 holidays listed.
I'm not good at
Now,
estimating.
So, some of them, I don't know if they're actually holidays or not, because it's like
There's one holiday
like-
just called Sunday.
like Donshu. Donshu. You click on the article for Donshu and it says Donshu occurs on the 28th day of Nisan. End of article. That's it. That's all it says. It's a holiday. It exists. What do we know
Yeah.
about it? Nothing. We just know that it is.
Well, so for our purposes, we're mainly going to be looking at a lot of I think it's what is this month? I think it is Deshan. No, Danu. So we're mainly going to be looking at Danu, the month of Danu, which is equivalent to real world November 24th through December 21st. This is the month that the Feast of Lights happens. It's on the 28th of Danu, which Wheel of Time months every month has like 28 days.
Yeah.
Through
I think
Taisham, which is the first calendar month of the Wheel of Time calendar. But if you compare it to real world or our world, it goes from December 22nd until January 18th, which is, I think, from November, what did I say the first one was? November 24th through January 18th, I think is a fair encompassing of winter-esque holidays for us in this
Okay.
here world.
in this here world,
Yeah.
I will
Sorry,
say
laughing
this.
laughing at something in the Discord.
Oh,
Our pictures in the Discord are similar enough that and both of our names are red that that someone in the Discord thought that I had replied to myself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I will say there is Swovan Night, and that is when that is not a Jim Bro holiday. Swovan Night is a holiday falling in Taisham.
Yep.
Nothing is really known about the holiday except that pine boughs are used to decorate windows and people's hair, and there is dancing and music, which sounds a lot like a winter solstice kind of dance because of the pine. You know, pine is always like evergreen is always used in winter celebrations because it's evergreen. It symbolizes life. It symbolizes surviving the winter and whatnot. However, Taisham is like January, February kind of a thing. It's not a. It's
No,
not gonna be...
Taisham is December 22nd through January 18th.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Bruh, where were you like 5 minutes ago? Did you pull a me and just like space out? Because I do that all
Did
the
I?
time when we're talking.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I was
You
talking
started
about
saying words, and I was like,
Yeah. So So we'll go. So Danu is the last calendar month in the Wheel of Time calendar, and that
Okay.
goes from November 24th through December 21st.
Okay.
Turn over the new year on the Wheel of Time calendar is Tai Sham, but that is December 22nd through January 18th for us.
Oh, so I was right there.
On the Faraday calendar. You weren't far off. You were still really close.
My statement started out and you were like, oh shit, he's on top of it. And then I was like, da-da-da, and you were all like, motherfucker.
That's fine. It's fine. Though I do kind of like there's a little bit of a comparison if you play D&D, the calendar, the Faerunian calendar for D&D, if you play the 5e edition Sword Coast kind of area. And then for Wheel of Time, it's the Farid or Farid calendar. And then D&D, every calendar month on the Faerunian calendar is 30 days. Every month on the Faride calendar for Wheel of Time is 28 days.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's
but
how
yeah.
it be.
So we don't know a lot about exactly what is celebrated with Svovan Night, but it's important for us in the books, specifically if you're a big fan of Matt and his storyline, because he's dealing with Tylan during this time because he's in Abu Dar, and Tylan basically convinces Matt to go spend the night with her son, Beslan, and they go out to the Wandering Woman, and that's where we get the description of the pine boughs and the decoration around the windows and everything. And it's during this night that Matt is attacked by dark friends and discovers the true identity of Birgitta Silverbow.
The true meaning of Swovan Night.
The true meaning of Swovan Night is Birgitta Silverbow, a bloody hero of the Bloody Horn, as Uno might
Bloody
would say.
hero.
A flaming hero of the Bloody Horn? I don't know.
Of the Bloody Valier.
Yeah. And if you're looking for a book reference, this basically happens. Crown of Swords, chapter 21, is specifically the chapter in which Matt's like, "You're Brigitte Silverbow." That's exactly how that happens. If you've seen Home Alone 2: Lost in New York, whenever he meets the lady in the park, it's kind of, make Matt Macaulay Culkin, or Kevin.
Well, and he has his memories. He's got all the additional memories at this point in time. So he's looking at her going, why do I know you? Why are you so familiar? I think his brain can't let him, like,
when you remember everything around you are familiar faces, worn out places. I think that's the lyric.
True.
I don't know.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out faces. Yeah. I don't know the words to that song.
So Swovan, not Soravan Night. That's a different night.
Soravan Night is a very different holiday.
It's a very different night. So that's on Taisham, the 13th of Taisham. So you can compare that over our stuff. So the 13th day in, 13 days after December 22nd would be what, January? I'm not good with math. Be like what, January 9th, 8th, 9th?
Something. Taisham, are we talking about Swovan Night?
Yeah, just 13 days after December 22nd.
According to this,
if you add 10 days to December 22nd, you get January 1st.
Right.
And then another 3. Oh, so it's the 4th. It's January 4th.
January the 4th. Unless you count the first day as 1 or 0, then it could be the 3rd or the 5th. And where a lot of these holidays revolve around like lunar cycles, like I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but Yule is commonly celebrated on the day in which the night is the longest night of the year. But it's actually like a 3-day long thing because you've got the whole sort of astronomical thing happening with the changing of the seasons. And so to say that it's between January 3rd and January 5th would actually be accurate to how these people measure time. I'm pretty sure that the 28-day calendar is also indicative of the fact that they have a lunar calendar.
I mean, that would make sense. So we have another one that happens on the 23rd day of Taisham, so we're getting close to mid-January in our time frame, called the Feast of the Half Moon. It's celebrated in Abu Dar. That is all we know. So it seems probably like maybe a feast to celebrate like the first half moon of the year, which would be in line with the calendar days and the calendar months being focused more on lunar cycle than not. So I don't know if you know any other reasons to celebrate the half moon phase of the moon. Or maybe, oh wait, what if it's like something to do? So Wheel of Time, big concept is balance. So
Yeah.
at a half moon, half of the moon is visible, half isn't. The moon is in balance.
Well, so
don't
lunar
know.
cycles play a big.
No, it almost looks like the ancient. Okay, here's what I'm gonna say: the half moon in the Wheel of Time, whenever the moon is a half moon, it looks like the symbol of the ancient Aes Sedai. If you were to actually outline the whole moon. That's why they celebrate it, because it reminds them of the original Aes Sedai and their symbol. I'm going to go with that.
So here's the thing. Here's what you have. You have, as you go from full moon, right, which is full, bright, 100% luminosity of the moon. As the moon starts going away, as it becomes less and less apparent in the bright sky, in the night sky, it is waning gibbous. It is the waning moon into the waning crescent, where you just get the little sliver. When there is the night sky with no moon, it is the new moon. And then, of course, you have waxing crescent and waxing gibbous. That's where the luminosity of the moon is growing and more of the moon is present and shining in the night sky and becomes, once again, the full moon. Okay. Now, there were a lot of, in old world traditions, there were a lot of celebrations surrounding the moon cycle, because the moon cycle, the lunar cycle, was how they measured a month, first and foremost. It was also how they measured the seasons. That's why you've got things like Stonehenge and many, many, many other human-built temples and things like that that line up perfectly with sunrises and sunsets and moon phases and things like that, because they tracked these things. It wasn't just, a lot of people say there was like a lot of like religion to it. There wasn't just religion to it. There was also a practicality to it. You needed to know how many moons you had before you could start planting crops so that they wouldn't die. You also needed to know how many moons you had to take care of those crops and harvest those crops, and how many moons you needed for preservation of food to get through the winter. There is a lot of things that it wasn't just a religion. It wasn't just a religion as we think about it. It was an actual way of life. It was survival. They needed this information. And so a lot of times when you had like the shaman or the healer or the wise one of the town, their job was to measure the stars and the moon and the sun. So yeah, there were celebrations around the new moon. There were celebrations around the full moon. I don't know if there were celebrations around the quarter moon, which is, when half the moon is present. But I know there were celebrations around the full moon and the new moon.
You say quarter moon is when half the moon is present?
I don't know why they call it a quarter, but it's like when it's I want to say when it's growing, it's the first quarter, and when it's dimming, it's the last quarter.
Oh, so it's more like the time span
Yes.
of the
Yeah,
phases
yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah,
moon
yeah.
rather than how much of the
Yeah,
moon
yeah,
is
yeah.
visible.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, they do call it the quarter because it is the moon is showing half,
Mhm.
but it's because that's the changeover of the next cycle in the lunar phase.
I'm gonna look, but I don't think uh I'm sorry. I can't type and talk at the same time. Um
No, you're good.
yeah, farmers they don't sow or plant or trim or they don't do anything, at least in our world, in like mid-January. Um so I don't think the feast of the half moon corresponds to necessarily doing anything with farming. It might serve as like the starting point for tracking the phases of the moon because it's the first real moon phase, I guess, maybe that
Sure.
you get out or not. I mean, actually, no, that wouldn't make sense if it's a lunar based calendar and the feast of the half moon isn't happening until the 23rd of Taisham. You're almost at the end of the first month. Then that
It
doesn't necessarily seem right,
it
but I guess it
could
could.
be. I mean, well, and also Feast of the Half Moon is an annual celebration, not a monthly celebration.
Yeah. I wasn't saying that it was monthly. I'm saying like I don't think it would be like the signifying start of phases of the moon if it's happening towards the end of the first month on a lunar based calendar. If we're saying that
Oh,
like
okay,
if the
okay,
months
yeah,
are if
yeah,
the
yeah.
months are
I see where
28
you're going with
days,
that.
yeah.
No,
Yeah. I don't
that's a
think that
good
would be
point.
the start point. I
It,
like the idea that maybe it started as like a celebration that the Aes Sedai would have because at that time the moon most closely resembled the ancient symbol of the Aes Sedai, and so it was a thing to celebrate.
oh,
Um, and that just kind of stuck with it, and now they just do it around the first of the year.
well, the other thing that's interesting to note with holidays in the Wheel of Time is that the holidays are very, very, very localized, right? Now, granted, like think about it, like in the
Yeah,
United
this is
States, we
only in Abu
celebrate.
Dhabi.
Yeah, think in the United States we celebrate Thanksgiving. Nobody else in the world knows what Thanksgiving is. It's an American holiday.
Yeah.
In the United States, we celebrate Independence Day, the 4th of July. We have President's Day. And guess what? There are other countries have other holidays that we have absolutely no idea about.
Yeah.
We don't know. It's
I
just
mean,
so
there's a fair
it
portion of the world that has an Independence Day. A very large portion of the world that has an
I,
Independence Day.
an
It's
Independence
all
Day, but
different.
not
It's
the
all
same
different days and
one.
stuff. But yeah,
And it's not celebrated with the same traditions and
I wasn't saying it was. I
stuff
just
like
wanted to
that.
make the statement,
Yeah.
just because
Because you wanted to be a dick. I get it.
yeah, you are what you eat. I mean, what?
Yeah, whoa, hey, wow. That's our
Wrong
only
show. Wrong
taints.
show.
That's our only taints. No, but so for why do they celebrate it in Ibodar? Oh,
No,
and
I don't even
normally
know
I'd be
exactly
willing
what
to
they're celebrating.
say, yeah, I'd be willing to say something to the effect of, Robert Jordan just didn't look into it was just a cute name that he came up with to have a reason for a holiday in Ibudar while they were there. But he was way too meticulous. Like he was way too meticulous in the writing of these books to not have at least a basic understanding of this. So this makes me think that the feast of the crescent or the feast of what is a feast of the half moon, I don't think it has to do with the actual moon. I think it's a symbol of something that happened historically.
Yeah, yeah, no, I would agree with that. It's one of those like we've traditionally celebrated this holiday here. We're going to continue to celebrate it. And it's like an old holiday that survived in the region of Abu Dar.
Yeah.
So, um, let's go with next. I think I'd have to check some of the others. But I think this is the last winter time frame holiday that we have a concrete date for. Because the other one that is probably the most popular holiday in the Wheel of Time, or at least second most popular, isn't a fixed day. It's more dependent on what's happening. So this would be the Feast of Lights. It's a 2-day holiday that occurs on the last day of the old year, which is the 28th of Danu, and the first day of the new year being the 1st of Taisham. So it happens December 21st, December 22nd. Danu 28th is the winter solstice, making it the shortest day of the year. So
There it
it's
is.
celebrated in every nation with lamps and candles in the windows, homes, and even anchored ships. There's sometimes parades of people carrying lights through the streets, and always everywhere there are joyous celebrations. Kyrian has a unique way to celebrate. It's the one day that the people of Kyrian are given breaks. For those 2 days, there's no social barriers. They're all broken. Everyone goes wild with music and dancing throughout the streets. One of the tenets in Kyrian of the holiday is that any man can kiss any woman, and any woman can kiss any man, and nobles and commoners alike are seen in states of undress from the waist up. And at the end of the feast, everyone returns to their normal classes and duties with no acknowledgement that anything occurred. Kyrian fucking orgies it up.
Dude, it sounds like almost like Masquerade. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does. That was a bit like Masquerade meets like Mardi Gras almost.
Yeah.
The second day of the Feast of Lights, which would be the 1st of Taisham, or December 22nd, is called First Day, and it is a day where it's tradition to give alms generously, or basically give gifts. Real world parallels for this. There's parallels to both the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah and the Hindu, Sikh, or Jain festival of Diwali. Those are both known as the Festival of Lights. Although Hanukkah is based on the lunar cycle, it coincides with the winter solstice with the duration of 8 days. Diwali celebrates the victory of light over darkness, good over evil, knowledge over ignorance. So it's appropriate to be celebrated on the shortest day when days start to become longer. And in both festivals, candles are lit and paper lanterns are common in Diwali. Gift giving is a feature of Christmas, however, and it is close to the same date. However, this would be like a reference to the progenitor for Christmas, which would be the Roman festival of Saturnalia. As well as gift giving around Saturnalia, there was also an inclusive role reversal between masters and servants, public displays of lewdness, drunkenness, gambling, and gluttony, and general debauchery, which is my favorite phrase, general debauchery.
I will drink to that.
Yeah. Para sees this ton in the chapter entitled The Feast of Lights.
What?
A lord of Saturnella could also be appointed over the chaos, a lord of chaos, if you will, in the words of what.fandom.com. Although in the Wheel of Time concept used in the Feast of Fools instead of the Feast of Lights. But if you want to see where Perrin sees a lot of this happen, it is in the book Lord of Chaos, chapter 53. And other than the next holiday, I think we're going to look at from the books, like this might be one of the best described or most described holidays. Because I know it was definitely like parents still being like sheepish and being like, oh no, there's boobies.
Oh. Matt's over here like, and Nynaeve is like trying to block him. He's just like,
yeah.
And Rand is like, he's like peeping through his thing. He's like covering his eyes because he's like a gentleman, right? But he's like peeping because he's not that much of a gentleman.
Rand, were you watching? That wasn't me. That was Luce Theron.
Perrin is just straight up like in his shirt. head completely buried in his shirt, so he doesn't even want the chance of accidentally seeing the boobie of another woman.
There is too much booba. I cannot handle.
He's too much boob.
Booba.
There is too much booba. Boba is good.
All right. And so the next one, that's probably one of the most popular, if not the most popular, because it happens in book 1 of the Wheel of Time, in the Eye of the World. We're talking about Winter Nights. It doesn't have a dedicated day by like, it's not always the 23rd or whatever, because it is predicated on the end of winter, and it is celebrated the night before Beltane. And participants typically spend the night wishing one another, visiting one another. I cannot read. I'm blind as shit. I was like, wishing one
Wassailing.
another. That makes no sense.
Yep.
Exchanging gifts and eating and drinking together. Of course, it's notable for us as book readers and for those that watch the TV show, because Winter Night is the night of the Trolloc attack in Amon's field when the story begins. Thus making it one of the most well-known holidays, even though it is relatively short in description. And it's just a celebration of the end of winter, with Beltane being a celebration of the start of spring. That's why Winter Night happens one night and then Beltane is the next day.
Yes. And the thing is that Winter Night, something very notable happens on Winter Night in the books.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the Trolloc attack on Emond's Field in the Two Rivers.
Is this thing on?
Shush.
Are we good, Josh? Are we too tainted already?
Dude, my brain is I'm so dead right now. I'm sorry.
I mean, it is the holiday season. It is a time for dead brain.
Oh, God.
I'm not mad. I'm just going to fuck with you about it because I can.
Please do. Please do. I deserve it.
So like I just talked about, like, yeah, it's so well known because this is when the Trolloc attack happens. And you're like, yeah, it's also really important because it's the night when the Trolloc attack happens. I feel like the guy that's like, I have a great idea, boss. You should do this. And the boss is like, shut up. That's stupid. Here's a great idea. And says the same idea. This is the second time it's happened, dude.
Okay, look.
The first was Tai Sham. If you talking about Tai Sham and Danu, or Danu and Tai Sham, if you want to go chronologically.
All right.
I
We're
fucking
doing
love you,
this.
dude.
We're doing this. It's happening
I
for the
love
rest
you.
of the night. I'm here. We're gonna have all the fun.
No, I love it. That would be a fantastic clip to put out there. Just me talking about, like, yeah, it's the night that the Trolloc attack happens, and then just, you know what's also important about it is the night the Trolloc attack happens. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Black Tower Podcast.
Welcome to the Black Tar Podcast, where taintiness
Does the madness
doth
have
overcome all.
Has the madness taken you already, Soravan Mahale?
Yes.
Oh God. Oh,
I need Billy
holy
Zane. I
night.
need Billy Zane to come and be healed me.
Be healed.
Be healed, Luz Theron. I will not let you die not knowing what you have done.
Just replace his dialogue in that section with "Remember, Winnie, remember, remember, Winnie, remember." For all you Hocus Pocus fans,
Love it.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay, so here's the thing about the Winter Night, though. They would, what you already covered it, like traditionally what they did at night, right?
Yeah, it's just they visit,
Yeah.
they give gifts, and they eat and drink.
They go a wassailing.
A what?
A wassailing. Do you know what wassailing is?
No, I do not.
It's like caroling, except like basically with drinking. Like, it's great.
Oh, so it like slowly devolves into like mumbling and murmuring and giggles after a couple hours.
That's why the song, "Here we come a wassailing along a lea so green, here we come a wassailing so fair to be seen, love and joy come to you, and to you your wassail too, and God send you and have you a happy new year." No, nothing.
I can't say I'm familiar with the song.
Oh, dude. Basically,
But the
it's
drinking and singing
basically
made me think of the.
seriously. Think of an Irish pub where everybody's drinking, and one guy busts out into song, and everybody goes woohoo, and they start singing along, and then they just keep singing songs all night, right?
Oh,
Imagine
so you
that.
mean me after I've drank enough and somebody pulls out a shanty?
Imagine that, but around the neighborhood. Like seriously, they would fill up a pint and walk from house to house, singing and drinking and having a great time. And there are
You had me at
places
drinking.
where it was so. Well, there were places where if you were to wassail at someone's house, they would give you alcohol as a means to keep you warm, because you got to keep warm in that when you're
It
out
works.
spreading Christmas cheer. And as we know from
Works.
Elf,
The cook on the Titanic proved that it works.
that's right. The best way to spread Christmas cheer is by singing loud for all to hear.
So if you're walking around, I'm not encouraging you to do this. Don't do this unless you're somewhere that allows you to do this. But if it's really cold and you're walking around drinking and a cop stops you and asks what you're doing, it's survival. And then regale them with the tale of the cook on the Titanic that saved himself from freezing to death by getting pissed drunk to the point where his blood alcohol level kept him from freezing. It's not even an exaggeration. It's what happened. And in addition to that, if it's after the end of November into December before Christmas, you can also claim that you're honoring a time old tradition of the Irish not continent country of the 12 pubs of Christmas.
Dude, I want to do the 12 pubs of Christmas so bad.
Yeah, dude, I want to do it.
That's so much. For those of you who don't know, the 12 pubs of Christmas is almost like a pub crawl, but with rules. Okay,
Yeah.
so like you go to the
guess
first
how many
one.
rules there are?
How many rules?
I have the rules right here. I can read them out.
Well,
This would definitely be something.
of rules. You
Yeah,
can make your own
Matt
rules. It's just
well, yeah, but there's some like really popular rules. This is definitely something Matt would do, like in our age. So it's got rules like nobody's allowed to use their phone.
right.
This one's like really arbitrary. Swapping shoes with someone else in the group before you drink. Use your bad hand or your off hand to drink. Nobody allowed to speak to the bar staff while ordering or to their friends. Complete silence.
Dude.
You must get someone else to feed them their pint or drink. You can't touch your own. I can see this one getting people in trouble. Everyone must speak in a foreign accent. Let's see. Everyone must drink a pint of water or 10. You'll thank us in the morning. Smallest person in the group has to stand up and do a roll call of everyone. You have to call the barman Guinness. Can I have a pint of Heineken, please, Guinness? And if he gives you a pint of Guinness, you have to drink it. What? That's not a punishment. The Guinness is delicious. Right? It's heavy but delicious.
Guinness is great.
Nobody's allowed to put their drink down on a surface. Everyone in the group has to ignore each other and pretend they're strangers. Everyone has to hug a stranger before they can leave the pub. But like Josh said, you can make your own rules. Just like I think it's like 12 rules is like the kind of spirit of the thing. So that would be super dope. Yeah, we need to do it somehow.
We do.
Somehow. That which reminds me, there's a pub here in New Bern called Spunky McDougal's. It's an Irish pub that I have yet to go to, and I want to go just because of the name. Fucking Spunky McDougal. Which is even funnier if you know like what spunk is like British slang for.
I mean, I think we can all figure out.
It's white and it frosts your gingerbread house. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
I don't think there's any other like winter-esque holidays.
Yeah. Ooh. Let's see. Well,
I mean,
and like I said at the beginning of the show, like some of these, at the beginning, some of these holidays, you click on them in the article
lied.
about them is just when it is. We don't know anything about it.
I lied. There is another one. High Chasaline. It's the 12th day of Taisham, only in Kirian. This is a Kirian holiday. It's officially called the Day of Reflection. It's called the same in some other localities. So apparently it's not only Kirian, but we only see it in Kirian. And Crown of Swords, Chapter 1, chapter by the same name, High Chasaline. It's a feast day, often with dancing that night, on which people are supposed to reflect on their good fortune and the blessings of their lives. Complaining goes against the spirit of the day, and a complainer may find themselves doused with a bucket of water to wash away the bad luck. A tradition in some villages, such as those in the Two Rivers. Perrin reflects after the Battle of Demise Wells that dousing with a bucket of water during High Cheslene is not a welcome thing because the holiday normally occurs in a cold month.
Do you know, real quick, have you ever had something happen to you, right? Something very large, something big, and you go, dang, that was crazy. And then something happens afterwards, and you go, wow, that was just what I needed. In this particular case, we get a POV of Perrin at High Chasaline, and he's fresh from the Battle of Demise Wells, which we know as one of the greatest bits of writing that exists.
Robert Jordan's top 5 greatest hits, coming in at number 2, the Battle of Demise Wells.
Yes, sir.
I gave it a 2.
I know what you have as number 1, and I'm judging you.
What do you think it is?
The Igloo. Don't even fuck with me right now.
Who's gonna know? Josh is gonna know.
Me. I'm gonna know. No, but this is like, it's like
number 1. We made
Perrin
love
needed.
in a cold as fuck place.
Frostbit bit the tip.
What happened? Well, the front fell off. It froze off.
And that's how circumcision was introduced to the Wheel of Time.
I pulled out and it became an icicle.
No, sir.
A cumsicle, if you will.
Stop.
It's even worse because I know you have a mental image of it. I know you do.
Stop.
I'm sorry, Avienda. Please excuse my cumsicle. Bruh. Oh. Did the fun, but just imagine pulling that off.
I will not.
Oh God. Oh.
Oh God. Oh.
Not to pat myself on the back, but I started crying. Oh.
Oh shit. Oh God. Oh, sir. Oh, I started back up my workout regimen.
Oh, please tell me you did abs today.
My abs are so bad.
Oh.
You dick.
Hey.
Oh God.
I don't know where that came from, but I'm glad it.
Oh. Oh my God.
There's a good fucking clip for you. I'm sure Plenty of people would just be like, "What the fuck, Andrew?"
Oh God, Rand and his fucking dixicle stabbing. Oh,
Let me tell you a tale of the dragon and his cumsicle.
that. Where's
A
North Harbor
jizzicle.
podcast when you need them?
A jizzicle, if you will. Resting peacefully.
I imagine Adalorna Sedai would have something to say about this.
But depending on how good the night was, they might be doing their best impersonation of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Happy holidays, folks.
Happy holidays. Look,
Can't
whatever
wait for you to
you know,
go somewhere and see an icicle and I just in the back of whoever's head just oh
and then you can thank the Black Tower for that mental image.
Kinslayer.
In the immortal words of the real big fish, whatever you celebrate, have a good one. We recognize this is a season for holidays.
Did find another holiday.
Mm.
Only celebrated in Altara or celebrated in Abu Dar, another Abu Dharian holiday. It is on the 22nd day of Taisham, so it's near the end of mid-January.
Okay.
Madden's Day celebrates the founder of Altara. That's it.
That's it.
It's like President's Day celebrating like George Washington's birthday.
Yes.
We started here. We started from nothing. Now we're here.
We started from the bottom. Now we're here. Look, holidays in the Wheel of Time. We've got a lot of fun holidays. There's a lot. Hey, Wolf Brother made it.
Wolf Brother. You missed us just dying, but
oh God, Andrew just broke both of us.
Just know that icicles hold a special place in the Black Tower's heart. Oh,
son of a bitch!
I am both ashamed and very proud.
This episode is available for early viewing for our patrons. So if you missed everything, you can go to our Patreon site, find the link for the video here, and watch it in its full glory. You will appreciate. I will say to you. Oh my God, we got two geeks, one mic up in the house.
Those losers.
What's up, two geeks, one mic?
I feel like I know who it is. Oh, I found another holiday. Also celebrated in
Well, it ain't me, and there's only two of them, so.
Yeah. There's also the Feast of Embers on the 20th day of Taisham. In Abu Dar.
That one?
Considering it's the Feast of Embers, it's probably what you use to thaw out the icicles.
That makes sense.
I've had to slide it in like a lock picking tool for the last 10 days. I'm ready to melt this thing off. Am I moving any tumblers?
I have so many comments for that, and I'm just going to leave it right there. We're not going to go down. We're not going to go further down that well, sir.
Come here, babe. Let me rotate your tumbler. Oh man.
We're not going to ask the question of how complicated is the lock.
Oh, I found another one. The Festival of Birds happens on the 18th day of Taisham. Primarily observed in Abu Dar. There's actually a description for this one.
Dude, Abu Dhari people like to fucking party. That's what I'm hearing.
Abu Dar is party central. So, Festival of Birds holiday entails men, women, and children wearing feathers. Commonly feathered masks are worn, so there's a little bit of the masquerade. Shaped into a bird, such as a owl, eagle, hawk, wren, or a fanciful feathered creature that represents no bird ever seen by human eyes. Feathered costumes, feathers sewn into your clothes or coats. Of course, wealth plays a factor into how fancy your costume is. if you're poor, generally you're going to have your either just a few feathers or a lot of pigeon feathers, or as they might be known in more northern parts of the U.S., sky rats. Do whatever.
Fun story.
Um,
I have eaten
yeah.
pigeon. There is no meat on those birds. When we were in Egypt, we ordered stuffed pigeon thinking it'd be cool. It was not. It was a pigeon carcass stuffed with rice. There was no meat. There
You
was
ever
no
been
meat.
charged turkey prices for pigeon food?
Thank you. That's a great. Yeah, no, that was
Oh,
just go to Egypt.
let's see. Another tradition on this day is giving money. Is giving money done with jubilant tossing of coins amidst shouting and laughter. So basically, you're going to make it hail instead of making it rain. Just pelting people with coins. And should be directed at the appreciated costume display or towards those in need, such as the raggedly dressed children and beggars. Um, as provocative as the scarcely covering costumes are during the day, it is said that when the sunlight fades, so do the inhibitions. So apparently, Ebu Dar
Yes.
has no problems with maintaining population because apparently every holiday is we fucking.
Hey, baby, it's the Feast of Birds. You know what that means? Hey, baby, it's the Feast of Lights. You know what that means? Hey, baby, it's the Feast of Embers. You know what that means?
Yeah. So
Ebu Dar is about that life.
It may originate from the famed feather dancers of Sheota, of which Ebu Dar was also the capital back in the day, and they were renowned for wearing little more than the feathers needed to cover the bare minimum. It may have a parallel in our world to the Carnival of Venice, in which it's custom for many of the inhabitants of the city to don mask and dress in costume. Though not related to birds in any way, Abu Dar is also a major port riddled with canals, and its people are close to those of the Mediterranean in real life. See more about this. See A Crown of Swords, chapter 29. So,
yeah.
Finger Egwene is also the scene that was cut out of episode 1. Sorry, Rafe.
Yeah, sorry you didn't get your big sexy scene, Rafe. That sucks for you, I'm sure.
Where is
No, final thoughts. Holidays in the Wheel of Time versus holidays in real life. Holidays are kind of funny things. Like we don't know, what we know about them is just kind of what has been handed down to us. And I feel like Robert Jordan did a great job of handling that in the books where, hey, we're in Ibudar. What's happening? Feast of Birds. Okay, cool. What do we do? Well, we put on a bird mask, we dance, we drink, we fuck. Cool. Why do we do this? I don't know. We just do. And I feel like Robert Jordan captured a really interesting aspect of holiday culture and holiday tradition in the books. And I really like how that's just another thing in the book series that's relatable to us. Like when we read this and, we go into a new city that we've never been to before and people are dressed funny and the food is weird. And, oh, what? It's a party tonight? Oh my God, why are these women topless? I love how well Robert Jordan writes holiday culture into the book series and makes it something that's so relatable and so much fun to read. And along with that, with our own holidays, I know that we as people in the real world have a plethora of different holidays. You've got, we've talked about Christmas, we've talked about New Year's, we've talked about Diwali. There's also Kwanzaa, there's Hanukkah, and we sincerely hope that whatever holidays you're celebrating, there's Yule. Whatever holidays you're celebrating at this season, it matters more. Yule. It matters more that you're having a good one.
Might be one of the
than
most cringiest
which
things
one
I've
you're
done.
having. I don't care which holiday you're celebrating. I am happy to see people celebrating. I'm happy to see people happy. And that's what it is. And you know, when you talk about the magic of this particular holiday season, I feel the need to just remind everybody of the Christmas truce in, was it 1911? I think it was 1911. It was World War
It was
One.
between what, British and German soldiers?
British, German, and French.
Yeah.
And
It would have
they were
been
in the trenches.
before 1916.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it was 1911. Oh, 1915.
1915.
Two geeks coming in clutch. But you know, it started off innocent. You know, someone singing a Christmas carol, someone homesick singing a Christmas carol, and someone else recognizing it.
Sorry, it was actually
And
1914. Sorry.
oh, 14. Well, 14,
Close
15,
though.
right? Because
Yeah,
New
two
Year's,
geeks,
right,
two
they
geeks,
popped
one
over.
mic podcast was a lot closer than we were.
Than I was, yeah. But you know, in that moment, you had people come together and say, "Hey, maybe we have a ceasefire tonight. I mean, it's Christmas." And you know, all three sides kind of met and went, you know, you're right. Let's have a ceasefire. And what happened next far exceeded anyone's expectations. The men came out of the trenches. They didn't speak each other's languages. They didn't understand each other speaking to each other, but they knew that they all celebrated a single holiday. And they all got together, they exchanged gifts, they
showed pictures of their families. They
showed
played,
pictures of their families.
They played like football or soccer.
And
For a night, they weren't enemies.
And it's so powerful. It's such a powerful story. And I don't care what holiday you celebrate. I really don't. What I care about is the magic of this time of year and the power that these holidays have to spread positivity and to spread love and to spread an understanding of we're all human, we're all people, and it's just simply beautiful. And so to wrap up my final thoughts, I again echo the words of Real Big Fish. Whatever you celebrate, make it a good one. I hope it's the best one yet.
Oh, what was that old commercial? Hold on, I'm looking it up. I'm not just being weird and quiet. It was a commercial for, I want to think it was like a phone company or something like that. But it was basically like, this is going to be the best Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa ever. It's a really, really popular commercial for the longest. I can't remember who it was. And of course, like searching that now just really doesn't give you any actual results. But, but yeah, no, I can't agree more. Whatever you are celebrating, if you're still celebrating, as you're hearing this, if you're listening to this when it goes public, if you're listening to this live here with us now, as some of our lovely patrons are, we hope that the upcoming holidays are enjoyable for you. If you're already starting some holidays or celebrating some holidays, I hope they are going well or went really well for you. It seems like one of the universal truths of the winter holidays, which is fitting because historically, the winter time frame is the hardest time frame for human survival because of food scarcities and travel limitations and things just, for lack of a better phrase, excuse the pun, snowball into bigger and bigger issues in the colder months. There's a massive emphasis on tolerance and cooperation and an emphasis on humanity, which uh, I can't think of a better example than Josh's example, the Christmas truce in World War One. So, um, you know, whatever you're celebrating, celebrate it with pride. Be happy, be proud to celebrate what you're celebrating. And on the same hand, if there are other people, be cognizant that other people may or may not be celebrating the same thing as you, and operate off of that assumption, and just be happy for them to celebrate what they're celebrating, just as you would want people to be happy for you and what you're celebrating. So don't be a dick. And screw going to Vegas. We're all going to Abu Dhabi because that's where the party
Right?
actually is,
Damn.
as we found out. So if you want to party in the cold months, where you can also just apparently most of the time run around without a shirt on, which is a fantastic party anyway.
Hashtag
Abu
free the
Dhabi is the
nipple.
place to go. Yep. Hashtag can't be a nip slip if there's no shirt.
That's right.
It's a really long hashtag, but
it works.
so.
Also, just as kind of a shout out, we at the Black Tower Podcast really are very conscientious about mental health and people's emotional health, and we understand that these are difficult times for a lot of people out there. And if you are one such person and you're having a difficult time, you're feeling alone, please hit us up. Please hit us up. We are here and we are happy to talk to you. We're happy to spend some time with you. Nobody should be doing this alone, and nobody does do this on their own. So we're happy to be there for you. We're happy to talk to you and help you through and make sure that that you're around to see another one. So absolutely, please reach out.
We'll do the best we can. And, if all else fails, or one of the best ways to reach out to us, head over to blacktowerpod.com. There's a button right there to join, where you can join our Discord. You can hop right in there. There's over 300 people in the Discord, that doesn't mean there's a lot of channels, but we'll just ask for help. We'll help you navigate it. We'll help you figure out where you want to be in the Discord, and the people in the Discord themselves will help out. It's a fantastic, wonderful community that has built up in the Discord over these past going into 6 years now.
Yep.
I think if I do math right.
If you math, yeah.
We've already done 5 years. We're in our 6th year now. So it's a fantastic community. It's an incredible community. To the point where this is like one of the few Discord servers I've ever been in where I think in 6 years we've had like one issue. Don't break that string.
That was not a challenge.
That was not a challenge. Issues. But just hit us up in there, and generally there's somebody in there to talk or respond or whatever the case is. Just be mindful of the other people in the Discord as well. And there's ways to go through it. But if you want to listen to us live again, blacktowerpod.com, there's a button for patrons where you can click and join the patrons and listen live, comment live, all that kind of fun stuff. You're more than welcome to do it. You're invited to do it. You're dared to do it. We dare you to support us on Patreon.
And
every person
to find
on
the
Patreon,
free options to support us as well.
Yeah. Subscribe, like, share to friends, do all the fun stuff. And we can't thank you enough. So we hope that any part of the holiday season you've already celebrated, we hope that it was fantastic and everything that you were looking forward to, and that you got everything that you were hoping to get out of the holiday season. If you've still got celebrations going on or coming up in the future, we hope that those go incredibly well as well. We're rooting for you to just enjoy yourselves this holiday season. Be kind, be courteous, don't be a dick, love your fellow people, and just be wholesome as much as you can, and spread it to everybody else, especially in a time of so much strife and turmoil. So from all of us here at the Black Tower Podcast, I'm going to hop off of our high horse of encouraging a good morality and say good nights. I have been your Bajan Mahale, Andrew.
And I have been your Josh.
Specifically
also
your
known
Josh.
as your Sorvon Mahale. I have been your Josh.
You know who
your
you
Josh.
are.
Personally.
Specifically you.
Yours. Thanks for listening.